Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Foxxx Files, Cold and Unsolved, my show where I highlight the many cold case murders here in Houston, Texas, through my segment, My Beautiful Souls, and then I'll scurry on over to Dear Sister, a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. And that's my show where I talk about all of the missing, murdered, kidnapped, and raped, our rape sisters. I am Cass, H-Town's Army brat, and let's get at it. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while because of my location. My location right now is in my garage. And if anybody knows anything about H-Town at this moment, it is hot. So I had to get up early this morning to come do this show because I need to get this show done. I've been procrastinating and pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back too long. So it's time to keep it going, keep it pushing it, keep it moving, right? Right. So if you are new to my show, welcome to the show. And if you have been here before, thank you for tuning back in. And if you do know and you don't know, well, you're gonna find out that this is an informative show. I haven't started Foxxx Files Investigate yet, but I am, because that's another story. Anywho, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and to my channel and hit the notification bell. And then if you could please share the videos, because you never know. Anybody could be looking for somebody to care about what's going on in their community, what's going on in their family, and what's going on with their friends, what's going on with somebody that they heard a story about years ago, right? So it's up to us as a community and as a people to keep our people, first of all, held accountable for the things they do. And secondly, let's keep ourselves intact, right? We have to stay tactful in the things that we do. It's still America and it's 2023. Okay. So with that being said, welcome to the show again. And thank you for tuning in. What I like to do at the beginning of my show is something informative. Like I said, it's called Did You Know? And Did You Know is just me giving you some kind of facts and some kind of proof about how crimes are solved, cases are brought about, and how certain things that take place can happen. So in H-Town, we have what I like to show my city. So, like I said, did you know that in Houston we have a company called Othram? It's the National DNA Program for Unidentified and Missing Persons. Othram Incorporated calls themselves a revolution in cold cases, right? And that's because this company uses technologies. They use technologies that combine the laboratory science, the laboratory science software, and the process data in order to build a better and more robust infrastructure of the DNA, or of a genealogical spec, like a quantum amount that they're most likely finding on some of these crimes, and they cannot actually figure out, how to get enough information from these crimes. So what Othram does is they take this information that they get from of course the victim, maybe even a crime scene, maybe even some evidence of whatever they have found around the time they found this body, skull, skeleton, hair, right? And then they'll run that information through genealogical databases like Ancestry, Genealogy, 23andMe, and stuff like that. And they'll come up with a relative, whether it be mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, great uncle, sixth cousin, twice removed type cousin. They're going to find a relative to link this individual to. And once they do that, they go further and further and further into the process, and they're able to actually identify people and identify cases. The only thing is okay, before I go, okay, so blah, blah, blah. You know me, I digress. I jump forward and I move myself back. Here we go. Read. You got to read the script, Cass. All right. So they help find relatives of the unidentified persons, right? Since their adaptation in 2018, they have been able to identify and solve hundreds of cases using this technology alone. So, if you already seen my show, you know I'm always on NamUs, which is a national database of unidentified and missing persons, and I'm also always on uh, the DOE network, which is also a database for missing and unidentified persons. Now, this is the database to help you, like go and see maybe, you know what I'm saying, you might know somebody in there, but Othram is the database for solved and found and identified missing and unidentified persons. That's what makes this organization so wonderful, because they're using the tools and they're using the knowledge that they have in order to help bring peace, solace, resolution, justice, whatever the case may be, because the person just might be unidentified and there was no foul play, you know, froze to death, heart attack, just fell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things happen to people when they just go, right? So that could have been, you know, any there could be any reasons why people leave. So it's wonderful that they're using what they have to identify. You know, like all I gotta keep saying it because that's what it is. They are identifying the unidentified. They are returning the missing back home to their people. This is what's amazing. So, but Othram, I'm gonna tell you before I say this. Check out the website. This is the website, Othram.com, www.othram.com, and watch how these wonderful, wonderful scientists figured out how to solve cases. And they have each state broken down like all the other database sites I visit, and then you can see it. And then they even have a icon where you can click to find out how it all happened, from when they found the body to, you know, all the evidence collected, and then when they had to do to get with Othram and KINSIP, KINSNP. KINSIP is another technique or the scientific technology that they use to help identify kinship. So this is like the KINSIP of the weed and picking through the DNA, right? Getting it together. I love it. So, like I say, go on Othram.com. I'm not advertising for these people at all. What I am doing is representing progress. Okay, so they do, however, rely on public funding. So when you go on the website, you'll see a photo of an individual to say funded, meaning okay, they got the money to start the case or start the research. They already have the body, they got the money to start the research, and let's move forward. And then you'll see some that says solved, and then you'll see some that says like how much has been raised towards the $7,500 it costs to do this. I guess each case is $7,500. So if you can, you know, let's sacrifice just a $2-3. That goes a long way in helping to locate, you know, helping this situation. That goes a long way, you know. I have no problem sacrificing to help the cause, because I do that. So like I don't even buy scratch offs anymore. And if you know me, you know scratch offs was my thing. Shoot, you'll get a $10 scratch off winning for your birthday. Happy birthday. And I do that. I have done that. Like I say, I sacrificed my scratch offs to donate and to help out the cause. But that's neither here nor there. It's not like me putting y'all in my business like I need some kind of accolade, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is sacrifice is necessary, you know. These people no longer can fight for themselves. These people no longer can speak for themselves. These people can no longer fin. I said fight, but you know what I'm saying. They can no longer do anything for themselves. Life as they know it is over. It's just how can we get them to the peace that they need to be at, right? Right. So my did you know was Othram Incorporated, H Town's only DNA place where they can find your family. They will locate you by locating your uncle. Okay. All right. So now that was my did you know, and it's time to move on into my beautiful souls. And like I said, this segment, this is blah blah blah. Slow down, girl. Let me take a sip. It's coffee. 7:42 in the morning. This segment here is very dear to me because it speaks on the energy in my beautiful city of Houston, Texas, right? It talks about, I'm talking about the cold cases. I'm trying to write down. I'm trying to keep up with my time so I can see how when I started. It talks about the cold cases that are here in Houston, because we have so many. And as each day progresses, we are gaining more and more cold cases because there's so many murders happening here. And there's only so many people that are and that can do anything about it. Either, like I say, funding, because, you need money to do things, right? Or the people, you need detectives, you need investigators. There are things you need that you have to get together in order to let's do this. So anyway, my beautiful souls today, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful souls today, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Miss Taffy Rawls Overstreet. Beautiful, ain't she? My headline reads, "He knows it all." The Taffy Rawls story. Born June 12, 1959, here in Houston, Texas, Taffy Rawls lived a pretty decent life. It is unclear exactly how she met her husband, Archie Overstreet. I know I have a picture of Archie. It is unfair how she met her husband, Archie Overstreet. But what is known about the two is that she did marry him while he was in prison, serving 60-year sentence for here we go. Burglary, aggravated assault, attempted capital murder of a police officer. He was on a 2-day crime committing spree here in Houston back in 1986. He gets 60 years for this. I don't know how my mic is good. He gets 60 years for this. Pardon me now. Anyway, so he gets 60 years for this sentence. For this crime. While in prison, him and Taffy married. Now, how did they meet? They don't speak on that. The research does not give me that. I was not able to reach anybody to like get me some kind of anything. So all I can go by is what the research shows, right? Right. So it just shows, it states that they got married while he was in prison in 2008. Okay. No, they got married while he was in prison. And then in 2008, they said they deemed him fit for parole. So they let him free. And he is paroled to Taffy House because, condition, he's married. Different man now because he's married. She's going to be what it takes to push him over the top and rehabilitate and all this. He's been in 20-some years. He's been in prison. He should need Taffy to rehabilitate him when he get home. He should have been being rehabilitated in the system, but that's another day. That's a whole other thing. So, and as a condition to his parole, he's supposed to wear an ankle monitor. So he wears an ankle monitor. Things go pretty well when he first comes home, but not too far after him being home does Archie's true color begin to shine through. He becomes the possessive, abusive, and controlling man he has always been. Shabaka, who is Taffy's son, said that his mother called him several times on November 7, 2010. She was telling him that Archery was drunk and abusing her. And he goes on to say that his mama said she wanted him out the house, but he refuses to leave. He can hear Archery in the background yelling and screaming and cuss, like people do. Just being all belligerent and, oh, cry baby, right? Right. You know what I mean? You've been home since 2008. It's 2010. You ain't got it together yet. So I have to put up with all this for how long? So she decides that enough is finally enough. So on that same day, she contacts her uncle around noon and tells him, hey, look, I need you to come over here and help me get this guy out of her house. Uncle like, I'll be there. Here I come. But I'm assuming, because again, I can't get in touch with nobody. I can't get no other information. So I can only act that they go through this too much. And the family's like, we're over this. So, either you're going to leave me, you're going to leave, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to keep coming over there, getting y'all business. Because every time I come over there, I get in your business. Y'all back together. Because this doesn't seem like something that he just has done this one time. And now she's like, oh, he got to go. No, I think that this has been going on. I think that this has been going on for a while, to be honest. But that's me. Anyway. Because, when you know the story of abusive relationships and abusive situations, it doesn't ball to a head until time has passed and enough has to be enough. So that's what's going on here. She probably had enough of the bull. So I need my uncle to come help me. Uncle say, I'll be there. He don't get that to 10 o'clock that night. Now it's noon, 10 o'clock that night. So I get it. You ain't with, because we play too much. But when he get there, her car's gone. The house, her car's gone, and the house looks deserted, but he can't get in, so we leave it alone. This is at 10 o'clock that night. For the next 2 days, nobody can reach Taffy. She's not answering no phone. She's not returning no phone calls. She's not returning no text messages. So the son decides to go over there, and he breaks in the house. Of course, you're supposed to. It's your mama's house. Where you at? You get in. Her laptop gone, her cell phone is gone, all of her purse and all that stuff is gone. She's gone. All the Archery stuff is gone, but all of her stuff is still there. So where's where's the car? So we go to the authority, report it, and they do their investigation. They find out that at 10:18 that same night, the last night she was seen, food stamp card is used at a convenience store around the corner from where she stayed, which is on Nicollet in Northwood Manor. So she's from the Manor, and that's where she stayed, Northwood Manor. And the card was used at 10:18 that night. And after that, nobody has seen or heard from Taffy. Not at all. Not at all. Over the next, the laptop's gone, cell phone's gone. Her 2 pistols are also gone, and all of Archery's belongings are gone. His ankle monitor. So when they keep doing the investigation, they realize that on the 8th, which is the next day, his ankle monitor had been cut off at 5:30 p.m. And he was gone. Nowhere to be found. There was no sign of blood, and there was no sign of foul play. So police didn't know what to think of the situation. Using cellular phone records, the authorities were able to determine that Archery had traveled from Texas to Louisiana, to Florida, to New York, and back down to Florida between November 8th and the 17th. So on the 7th, the last day Taffy was seen, he was still here in Houston, but where? They don't know, but he was in Houston. So he was able to use her credit card, to her debit card, 25 times during his stay, during this whole time frame. So from Texas all over East Coast, 25 times he used this woman's card. She's been reported missing. Why isn't her stuff turned off? Like, why is her card still Why is her car still accessible between November 8th and November the 17th? That's almost 3 weeks. So how is, I'm telling you that she's missing, and then, we can't get none of that taken care of. But anyway, because why? That's why. Who cares? I care. We care. Her family cares. The community cares. We care. That's why. That's who. Look. So he uses her car 25 times between the 8th and the 17th of November. And then on December the 8th, during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, he was arrested for parole violation. Now, that's how they found out where he was. The last time he attempted to use the car, and they finally turned the card off. So that's how they knew he was in Jacksonville, Florida, still on the run. And where's Taffy? He was driving Taffy's green Mercury Grand Marquis. He was driving her green Mercury Grand Marquis. That's it, right? Grand Marquis. And inside the trunk, they found a roll of duct tape that had blood on it. And they later determined that the blood belonged to Taffy. Taffy's two 9mm hand pistols were also in the trunk. So when asked about Taffy, of course he says he don't know what Taffy is. He don't know what happened to Taffy. Of course he says that, right? He's supposed to. But they just arrest him for possession of firearms and being a felon. So he gets into that. And he's sentenced to 35 years in prison, which kind of equates to the remaining of the time that he already had in prison. Because remember, he got out in 2008 on a 60-year prison sentence on parole. So if you do the math, it's like 24 years. So that's about around the same amount of time he was going to keep going if he would never got out anyway. Right? So when the court determined Archery's sentence, they considered the preponderance of evidence that indicated she was dead. And she was dead by the hands of her husband. So in June of 2012, they additionally charged Archie Overstreet with Taffy's murder. So he gets arrested in 2010. 2012, he's charged with her murder. Guess what, y'all? It's 2023. This dude is still awaiting his trial. How's that possible? I know he's serving his 35 years for this gun thing, but when we're going to take him to trial for Taffy's murder? It's time to take him to trial for Taffy's murder. He's been called out. Take him to trial at Harris County. We need resolution. Taffy needs peace. Her family needs peace. Her son needs peace. Her son needs to know where his mama is. Where is my mama? So, like I said, Taffy is still out there. If Taffy is still out there, and you have seen her Mercury Grand Marquis, from Houston, Texas, to Louisiana, to Florida, to New York, to Florida, please try to think if you can remember if she was with you in that car at any of these moments or at any of these times. And if you can remember anything from back in 2010, about Taffy and Archery's relationship, or if you know Archery and he has said anything and mentioned anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Houston Police Department Cold Case Squad at 713-308-3618 or our anonymous tip line at 713-222-TIPS. And if you have luck, like I have luck, which is no luck when dealing with them calling them numbers, because they don't answer, nor do they return phone calls, then reach out to your girl. Santa7production@gmail.com. Put in the subject bar Fox Files, and I will for sure get back with you, and we can go on about whatever case it is you know about or information that you might have, right? And that's, or you can reach out to me at facebook.com/CastSand. All right, y'all. That was my beautiful soul, one Taffy Rawls Overstreet of Northwood Manor, ladies and gentlemen. Take it in. Take her in. Take it in. Take her in. That's Taffy. Taffy. Hello, Taffy. She is considered missing and endangered. Okay. Or is it endangered and missing? How? She's considered endangered and missing. That's how they say it. So if you have any information, if you can remember anything, if you were in prison with this cat and you're out now and he said something to y'all and during lunchtime, during the whatever time, pillow talk time, please reach out to the necessary individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to bring resolution to this lady. We need to bring resolution to the city. And we need to bring resolution to her family. And all right, so it's on and on and on we go. And now it's time for us to move on into the soul of the show. The soul of the show is Dear Sister, ... A letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. The entire title. That is the entire title. And I'm going to do like I always do, which is 2 little stories. All right, so here we go. Today's first Dear Sister ... is one Miss Lena Baker, y'all. I like this story, y'all. Lena Baker. Here she go. Born June 8th, 1900 in Cuthbert, Georgia. Lena Baker's upbringing was somewhat peaceful, right? She and her 3 siblings were raised by their sharecropping family as she worked as a farm laborer. As a child, she worked as a farm laborer. She also chopped cotton for a farmer named J.A. Cox. As an adult, she became a mother of 3. She would work as a maid to support her family. Lena started working for one Ernest Knight in 1944 as his maid. He was an older white man who had broken his leg, so he couldn't really move around that much. So he hired her to work for him. And soon after she started working for him, this man would make her, force her to have a sexual encounters with him, against her will. You got to word things right so things can get on, right? Not that, but you just got to be sensitive today. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Sensitivity. Ralph Tresvant had to sing about it to make people remember what it sensitivity. What are you talking about? Anyway, so he would force her to have a sexual relationship with him on several occasions. And he would also lock her into this grist mill that he was the owner and operator of. Grist mill. I never Googled it. I never looked it up. It's sad to say it, but I really didn't want to know what it was. And you know what? That's sad to say it, but I didn't. But let me do that now. But anyway, he would lock her in this grist mill that he owned and operated for days at a time. And he will, like I said, he grinds grains into cereal, y'all. That's what it is. A grist mill is a mill back in the 40s, because it was the 40s, so they didn't have what they have now, but it was what you use to make cereal. It was to grind the grains to make for the cereal. But okay, so he would lock her in here on days at a time and then do what he got to do. And she, come home, when she do come home, and she's all like hungry and broke down and bruised and stuff like that, but not to the point where it's a problem, I would think, because you think, you would think that, it's 1944, so you cannot see how they thought or what they thought like, because their brain did not work like our brain does. Not being funny at all, but it didn't, because it was a very submissive type of situation, so you had to submit. So, especially to the, you know what I mean? So, but they would go around town together. He's seen around town, but to her, it was a slave type of situation. I'm his slave. To him, he didn't care. But the townspeople and his own family had a problem with it. They were like, you know what? This don't seem right. You know what I mean? So on one night, late night, April 24th, 1944, Lena was attempting to leave to go home. And Ernest was like, no, you're not leaving. You're staying here tonight. And he was attempting to do what he do and lock her up in the grist mill. She wasn't having it this time, so she fought back. And he pulls his gun out and they tussle. The gun go off. He gets hit. She gets accused of murder. So while still in shock, she sends for her son to go get the sheriff and knew that, she knew that it was self-defense. So, I'm going to be okay because this is self-defense. I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was trying to defend, fear for my life. So, of course, the sheriff didn't want to. He didn't see it that way. It's 1944, Blueford, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? What do you think? This is America, people. This lady was charged with first-degree murder. Nobody investigated the case. Nobody investigated anything. They just like, you know what? This white man wasn't trying. He wasn't trying to do that to you, girl. So when her claims of self-defense, they weren't trying to hear it. They wasn't hearing it. So she explained that he had been holding her captive in the grist mill for days at a time, and he was abusing her, and that he was, like I say, forcing her into doing these acts. Even her family and children testified that she would be gone for days at a time. When she come home, she would come home with bruises and stuff. The district attorney claims that it was not self-defense. In fact, it was him ending a forbidden relationship and that she refused to let it go. Because townspeople said, oh, no, that's not how Mr. Ernest is. That's not what he'll do. He ain't going to, hold her captive. She's a trifling mama. She just didn't want to go home and all that, stayed over here for days and all that. That's how they did that lady. That's how they did that. And that's how they did that lady. It was ridiculous. So the jury didn't care about what Lena had to say either. Nobody cared about Lena's side of the story. This man is not going to do you like that. Who you? Not, why you? Why you? I ain't trying to do that. I don't want to say that yet. Okay. Why you? You know what I'm saying? What makes why would, but he's an older guy, you know what I mean? So why not? Why not? Look at, why not? What you mean? Why me? Why not me? That's the question. Anyway, but that's again how I say brains didn't work the same back then. So March 5th, 1945, precious Lena Baker. Lena Baker was sent to the electric chair. She'd be the first Black female electrocuted in Georgia. March 5th, 1985, all because she fought off her attacker and won. That's how I put it. She fought off her attacker and she won. So that was that with Lena Baker. In 2005, she received a posthumous pardon by the state of Georgia. The governor of the state realized that, she did not have a fair trial. She didn't even have a fair hearing. She didn't even have a fair situation. It wasn't fair at all. So they gave her a pardon because it's posthumous because she's gone. So she's been pardoned, not exonerated, but pardoned. I mean, you gotta pick your battles. Thank you for the pardon. I really was defending myself, but I could have quit. I'm assuming, but maybe not. So, ladies and gents, that was a story of Lena Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the story of Georgia's own Lena Baker. If you want to actually see the movie, Tashina Arnold Pam, to check from Martin. She plays Lena Baker in the movie called Hope and Rendition. Really good movie. Um, Low quality, but really, really great movie. I've seen Tashina Arnold play in a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I know she's versatile. She's amazing. But this role here, she did a great job. All right. So, how about this, y'all? I got one more dear sister, ... a letter to let you know that you're not forgotten. But this one is on an update note, right? Okay. So, if you, like I said, are not new to the show, you've seen them before, you can remember me talking about the Opelika, Alabama, Jane Doe. Opelika, Jane Doe. That's my beautiful sister. My beautiful sister. I mean, my dear sister, ... A letter to let you know you're not forgotten. Now, if Opelika Jane Doe was found in the fields, okay, in January 2012, the Opelika police responded to Brookhaven Trailer Park that's located on 1775 Hurst Street in Opelika, Alabama, in reference to the skeletal remains being found. The skull was located in the yard of a residence, while the majority of the bones were located a few feet into the woods behind the trailer in a lot, an adjacent lot. During the search of the area, oh man, I lost my spot. During the search of the area, pink shirts and a pile of hair was found laying there. Okay. And a pink shirt. Right. And a skull. The report stated that, so the FBI took all the information and sent it on up to Quantico to see if they can help find out, what is going on. Where does that, where these bones come from? Who they belong, what's going on? So the report stated that the remains were of a black female, likely to be between the ages of 4 and 7 years old. Remember I talked about the NamUs network, database, and I've also spoken about the Doe network when it comes to this case, because they have her skull in Florida's Museum of Natural Science. They have a with a reconstruction like Doe network walkthrough. That's what I could call it, because you'll be walking through different renditions of unidentified people's skulls, right? So the end, an autopsy. So again, she was 4 to 7 years old. Okay. An autopsy was performed and noted that fractures on her skull, arms and legs, shoulders and ribs were totaling about 15 individual fractures. And they were all attributed to some kind of blunt force trauma. These injuries all had evidence of healing and occurred sometime prior to her death. So before she was murdered, she had been being beaten. Right? Say that 2 times fast. She had been being beaten. Somebody was beating her. Sure. Okay, and the baby was also blind in her left eye. They was able to find out that she had fractures to her left eye socket to let them know that she was blind before her death. And her death was determined to be a homicide and believed to occur between the summer of 2010 and 2011. And she was found January of 2012. Okay. So, moving on. In 2016, investigators received the tip that this Opelika Jane Doe just might have been attending a vacation Bible school at the Greater Peace Church in 2011. Hold on. know me. I got pictures. I got pictures. Vacation Bible School. But we love vacation Bible School. Look at that left eye. Look at that left eye. Look at that left eye. Okay. 3 miles away from where 3 miles away from where her remains were found. This is where the Vacation Bible School location is. So this is where she was found, and this is the last place that she was seen in 2011. Just like they said, they assumed that she'd been murdered between the summer of 2010 and 2011. All right, the photos from the Bible school have been released, and investigators believe this child photograph is the unidentified child. Now, mind you, they found a particular photo of her, but they still don't know who she is. So she is still the Opelika Jane Doe. Okay, and her identity still remains a mystery, people. All right. Oh, and I'll put this out there too. In addition, the medical examiner said that she looked like she may have been malnutrition and starved. So, and she was all, like I said, blind in the left eye. So, hear me now. Who is she? This is the clay rendition is what I have when I talked about the show before, because we were talking about the NamUs network, the NamUs database, and the Doe network. We're talking about these, and that's what they had as far as what they could get from her skull. But when they drew her, they were able to kind of give her face life. They even have a photo of her with curly hair, but I didn't do that one. I didn't take that one anyway. So let me keep on rolling, y'all. Let's keep on rolling. The Opelika Police Department, y'all. Come on, these words are something else. Previously attempted to develop a DNA profile for Jane Doe. However, they were unsuccessful. That is until, y'all, guess what they did, y'all? Reached out to Othram. They said, Othram, we got a case of a little baby. We found her bones and her hair and her sweat. Please help us. Please help us. This is January of 2022. I think I talked about this in 2021. This is how long, because I've been doing this show for years. I just don't do it like I need to. The consistency, that's the problem. Stay consistent, cast. Stay consistent, cast. I need to write that on something. Maybe a shirt. I'm gonna make me a shirt. Stay consistent, cast. Let me go. So January 2022, they send these remains and all the evidence they have from Opelika, baby Jane Doe, to Othram. Othram do their thing. They go through the DNA. They extract the DNA remains. Okay, they extract the DNA from them, and they develop a comprehensive, meaning it works, meaning it makes sense, meaning it flows, meaning it is understandable, comprehensive genetic profile. They uploaded their profile into the database, and they found a genetic relative to the Opelika Jane Doe. Okay. Her name is Barbara Ray Venter, is the name of the person who was able to extract this genetic profile. She's a biologist. She's a genetic genealogist, a biologist, and a retired patent attorney. She works with the Opelika police department to help this anyway. So in October 2022, from January 2022 to October of 2022, we found our daddy. Found your daddy. That's your daddy, girl. We found your daddy, girl. His name is Lamar Bickerstaff Jr. right? So here's the story. Lamar Bickerstaff Jr. was in 2006, 2005-ish, 2004, 2005, 35-year-old man. Okay. He met a young girl uh, named, I got her name, I did not get her photo, crazy me. Her mama's name is Wiggins, last name Wiggins. It's gonna come to me when I keep on reading, but Wiggins. So he was dating this young Wiggins girl, and you know, they were together, they were doing their thing. He got her pregnant in 2005. She was like 17. So he moved her in, talking about getting married and all that. But again, like in Lena Baker's story, people all in their business. So the family, like, man, I don't like this relationship. She's too young, you too old. Y'all need to separate. This is not going to work. So he ended up leaving her alone. And when he leave her alone, she files for child support. So okay, so let me. The baby's born January of 2006. A little girl named Amur Javea Wiggins. Oh yeah. Amur Javea Wiggins. This is what she looked like before the last time her mama seen her. And this is what she looked like the last time anybody else had seen her. Okay. So she was born January of 2006. Miss Wiggins, they don't have a first name. So Miss Wiggins provided the documentation showing that Lamar and Ruth Bickerstaff obtained legal and physical custody of her in 2009. Mind you, I said this is the last time she's seen her baby. This is the last photo she has of her baby. So she was 3 years old. That's when she lost her baby to them because, like I said, he left her, didn't want to be with her no more. So she filed child support. And when she filed child support, they did what they had to do to show that she was unfit to be a mother. So they took the baby from her. The last time she seen her baby. And her fighting, appealing, worked out in his favor because she had to start paying him child support on a child that she still has not seen yet. So she started paying him child support in 2010, I believe. And the baby has not been seen since 2011 by anybody. Since this vacation Bible school photo. So it's the daddy and his wife. The daddy and his wife were the last ones to be with her. This guy goes off and joins the Navy. And he lived in Norfolk, Virginia. He lived in Honolulu. Now he's living in Jacksonville, Florida. All of this goes on while your daughter is missing. You haven't even reported her missing. She doesn't have any documentation of going to the doctor. She don't have any documentation of going to school. Where is your baby? Where's your baby? You got one. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is. That's not one. Oh, where does it come from? That's old. That don't look like one. Delete that. It's my bad. But here she is. This is your baby. Here's your baby. What happened to her? What happened to her eye? What happened to her? And then what took you so long? We found her in 2012. We found her in 2012. We showed a photo of her in 2016. All over. Not just here and there, all over. Where you been? What is going on? So he's claiming that he has no idea what happened to the baby. All right. Like I said, she provided the documents indicating that she was continuously paying child support to Lamar and Bickerstaff since 2009. So since the time she lost her baby, and she had been paying child support. Okay, following the DNA testing with Othram using the kinship, like I was talking about, from familiar relationships, support the parent-child relationship. Sherry Wiggins is her name. Sherry Wiggins and Lamar Bickerstaff is this girl's parents. They're her parents. But Lamar has been married to this lady. What's her name? Mm-mm-mm-mm. I just said her name. The wife. Well, the wife. He been married to his wife, whatever her name is, Bickerstaff, since 2006. She says. She says they've been married since 2006. And so that means you were with him when he got custody. That's why she said, because you two were given custody of the baby. You know, all of her visitation rights were suspended in 2009. So they completely took her child from her, and then completely took her child from her. So that's an update, y'all. An update. They were able to locate the baby, found the bones found in this pasture behind the trailer park. And somebody realized that they had a photo of the Vacation Bible School. And I think that could be that baby. Research and DNA database and all the hard work and dedication, we located her daddy. We located her mother. We located the last known photo the mama had. We located the stepmama. And we're holding the correct people accountable. Accountable. That's what we want. You beat your baby, murdered your baby, threw your baby, and moved on with your life. She would have been 16, 17, about to graduate high school. Next president of the United States, first black female president of the United States, murdered by her daddy. How that sound? Before she even had a chance to know what a president is, she's murdered by her father. Malnourished by her father. Beaten by her father. Thrown out in the wilderness by her father. Look at it. And her stepmom. So he's, what's going on with him? Okay, the detectives say the case remains under investigation, and the detectives needed public assistance in gathering additional information regarding Lamar and Ruth Bickerstaff's relationship with Amora Wiggins at the time they spent with her in Opelika, Alabama. So if y'all can remember anything about Lamar, now that we know that Lamar baby is missing, because y'all didn't know Lamar baby was missing. That's the thing. You didn't know Lamar baby was missing. Now we know Lamar baby was missing. Now we know Lamar baby was missing, and we know Lamar baby was found murdered and discarded. So can you all remember seeing him at the grocery store, the car wash, the bank, walking down the street? Did she ever come outside? Do you remember anything about this situation? If you do, please do not hesitate to reach out to the Opelika, Alabama Police Department at, look at me, 713, at 334-705-5200. And if you got to call, and blow their phones up, blow them up. But if they're not getting to you in time, and you're not appreciating the lack of support and effort from the Opelika Police Department, from H-Town. Don't come to H-Town, but contact H-Town. Look, we don't need you. We got enough. Contact us, 713-308-3618 or 222-TIPS. They're anonymous. And then keep calling them and let them know that you're trying to get in touch with somebody because you got valid information about this case, that case, your mama's case, your daddy's case. Not being belligerent, but that's what I'm saying. Stay on them. But if you are, again, still like me sometimes, I want to talk to the man, first of all. You don't need to be in your business, knowing your voice, knowing nothing about you, knowing your location. Reach out to your girl. And if you also feel like, you're being ignored, the situation is not being handled, it's not being taken care of to your liking, right? Don't hesitate to reach out to your girl at at gmail.com, leaving the subject bar Foxxx Files. and I will be sure to get back with you. It's as if you have a case you want me to talk about, as if you have information on a case you want me to be updated on, and try to help you get get information on. We're growing. Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved is going. Okay, before I go. So that is, and again, you can reach out to me at facebook.com/Cass. Okay. So yeah, that one I want to do that one. I'm so excited about that one, Opelika Jane Doe, because it's a case that I worked, and then not worked, but a case that I highlighted years ago, years ago, and then here it is. I can come back and give a positive update on it. Positive being that we were able to find out who she is and where she come from, and who could be responsible for what could have happened to her. What a blessing. That is amazing. And that's why I do. That's why I do what I do. I'm not saying that my show had anything to do with that. What I'm saying is I like bringing the information out. And when I bring the information out, you all can do what you want to do. You choose to do what you want to do. You want to run with it and talk about it and share the video, like and subscribe, and comment. I've been receiving some good feedback and comments. I want let's keep that going. But okay, so that was my dear sister ... ladies and germs, Opelika Jane Doe, who is actually Amur Javea Wiggins. Put her picture back up. Amur Javea Wiggins. Sweet baby. Sweet baby. Murdered by the hands of her father and her stepfather. She's been 17 years old right now. Hot mess in the summertime. Felony murder. So he's charged with felony murder. Okay, I want to read that. And so Lamar Bickerstaff Jr. is charged with felony murder, and his wife Ruth Bickerstaff is charged with failure to report a missing child. Exactly. Because she's not here no more. You don't wake up in the morning and she gone and you don't say nothing. Whew. Y'all, you know how I get. But let me get back to it. So it is now time for my wrap him up, cap him up. And today's wrap him up, cap him up is Miss Kenesha Dixon. I don't have a photo up here, and I don't need it because y'all already know me and Kenesha are like friends. But this is my last wrap him up, cap him up on Kenesha. I've done her so many times right now. And I haven't been able to get any kind of information regarding. I can't even get my calls returned. That's because it's just Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved, the informative show. So like I was saying earlier, Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved is expanding, and we are growing, y'all. So much greatness, so many blessings, and it's just amazing. So with that being said, I'm Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved will still be, but I'm going to add Foxxx Files Cold and Unsolved Investigates, so I can try to figure out, some of these cold cases only here. I'm only going to be talking about the cold cases here in Houston right now, and then maybe I will just move forward. But anyway, Kenesha Dixon, y'all, May 9th, 2000. Kenesha was at home. So she gets a knock at the door. She lived at apartments on West Forum, 6400 West Forum, West Houston. And she gets a knock at the door. She goes to answer the door, and is immediately shot in her stomach and killed. Boom. Fell back on the floor in an apartment. She's dead. The roommate come home to find her on the floor dead, and she has her gun next to her. So she answers the door with her gun in hand. So of course she was in fear for her life for something. They already knew. Investigation report and all the evidence that they received and information they received stated that she was in fear for her life. She had just moved to this complex because she was running from somebody, because she was in fear for her life. Who was she in fear for her life from? Like, if you know she's scared. You know who she's scared of. Excuse me, y'all. You know who she's scared of. So what happened to her? Right? Oh, I'm on an hour. Let me get off of here. Um, if you know anything about anything that could happen to Kanisha Dixon, y'all, reach out to Houston 713-308-3618 or 713-222-TAPS. Again, if you don't want to talk to the man, you ain't got no time for the man, you contact your girl and we can move forward. This is how you can contact me, Santy7production@gmail.com. The subject bar, please put Foxxx Files so I can know what this is about. And you can also reach out to me on Facebook.com/@San, or you can always comment down below and we can still move forward with everything we got going on. So yes, Kanisha Dixon, what happened? Who did this? They said they have evidence, they have a lot of, witness statements and everything, but what's going on with it? Where are they? Why we not hearing from them? Or why we not solving this? Okay, y'all. That is my time. I really do hope you enjoyed this show. I decided to start, I guess, advertising items that I make because I'm a crafter as well. So I had items that I have in my crafting store that I'm building. I said, we're growing. I'm going to start advertising every show. You purchase an item at the store. And with you purchasing these items, you will be supporting the show, helping the show build, and in helping the investigates, because Foxxx Files Investigates is going to be investigated. That's going to be exciting. We're going to be on the road, exciting. So, again, I thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have tuned in all the way to this point, you already know what you get. Just shimmy. I love this. All right, y'all. So on behalf of Taffy Rawls, what we do like this. On behalf of Taffy Rawls, come on. First of all, on behalf of H-Town, there you go. On behalf of H-Town, Taffy Rawls, Lena Baker, and Amur Javea Wiggins. I'm Cass Sand, H-Town's Army brat. This person. Hello. Trying something. Outro.